Hey guys, it's GhostBoy, and if you have been watching me for a good amount of time, or you have just seen some of my older videos by random coincidence, you might remember my Minecraft animations that I made out of maps in the 1.7 snapshots. Well, since 1.7 came out, these animations have entirely broken because of something relating to coordinates, which caused things like this to spawn in the wrong place. I think originally in the 1.7 snapshots, I noticed they were spawning not at the actual coordinates where I set them, so I had to make like custom coordinates. And so I think they fixed that problem now, and so that caused them to not work in the new update. And so I figured, since now they're all broken, all of my animations are broken, I figured it's about time for me to make one that works again, and it's about time for me to make a tutorial on such things. So we're going to be going with the simplest of the animations here, going with my original version 2.0 from my older videos. And the reason for that is I'm going to explain how to make the 4.0 in the end later on, but it's basically the same thing as the 2.0 copied a bunch of times, so I'll explain how that works later on in the tutorial. So we're going to make the 1.0, and this is going to be a simple basic tutorial, and we're going to be using our Sonic maps yet again, except that with the new update, maps look better colored, so I'm not sure how they'll import now. I'm kind of interested to see. But first things first, we have to go over to Photoshop, create our images, which I've already done, and then I'm going to go over to the program to insert maps, and I'm going to start recording there. Okay guys, so here we are over in Map Item Editor. This is my favorite map editor that's available. There are quite a few of these out there, but this one's my personal favorite. So we're going to go get our maps, which I have made a folder for animations on my computer, and I also have my Sonic ones here, which have all my files. I'll probably upload these to Imgur or something so that they're accessible to anyone. I've already done that with certain ones. So here's how it's going to look once it's on the map. This looks a lot better than it used to. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this, and we're going to find the map. We're going to go to our roaming app data folder. And then we're going to go to .minecraft, we're going to go to maps, no sorry not maps, to worlds is it called? No, it's not worlds. We're going to go to saves. Oh yeah, so sorry, I was interrupted there for a second. So we're here, and I actually made a custom folder, or I made a custom world to do this in. Sorry, I got confused because I forgot what I was doing. So we're going to go to our folder for our world, which we're going to be using Maps 2.0 here. We're going to go to Data, I believe, and then there's going to be map files. Now, I made a ton of maps in this world just to have some maps to work off of. So we're going to save it. We're going to save over map_0.dat and save that. Yes, we want to do that. Next, we're going to click New. And we're going to choose mat_1 and then replace, yes. So for the new one, we're going to do the second frame in the animation. We'll save that. New. We're going to do the third one, obviously. Yes. We're going to choose the third frame animation. I'm going to do this for all of them. 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, we've done that for all of them now, and so we're going to head back over to Minecraft. Okay, now that we have our maps done, and we're back in the game, let's go back to our world. And so here's the world that I created. It's super flat. Probably should have thought through this a little bit better, because I forgot that slimes were everywhere. Probably should have made a custom super flat world, but that doesn't matter. So what we're going to do is we're going to spawn an item. We're going to get ourselves a map real quick, and we're going to right click with it just so that I can get the item ID here. So there we go, 358. So we're going to spawn ourselves an item. We're going to do give. I don't really remember the command because I've been playing too much Terraria and I'm used to the commands in there. So give xGhostBoyx. What was it? I already forgot. Give xGhostBoyx 358. Okay, there we go. 358. Then we're going to choose 1 and then 1. And this should be our first frame of animation. This should be our second frame of animation, I think. Hang on, let me do this again with 0. Let's try this. Okay, oops. There we go, that's our first frame. Alright, so let's delete that. 1. We're going to do it with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, coming through here, I believe one of these is actually screwed up. Yeah, that's this one. I did that wrong. Okay, so there we go. Move these all over in the line. And this is all 8 frames of our animation. 0, 1, 3. They're all there. I just saved them to the wrong files for the most part. But there we go. There's all 8 of our frames. And so now we can get to actually building this animation with slimes everywhere. Hang on, I'm going to stop recording here. I'm going to make a little platform to build this on. One sec. Okay, so we're back, and I built myself a platform to build everything on. It's high above everything else, as you can see, so that we don't have to hear or deal with slimes. And I made myself a little stage for us to display our animation on. Now, I came down here and I put all the frames out in order so that it could be seen easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Except, disappointingly, it didn't fill in the eyes and the arms and stuff with white, even though in the new update you can actually have white on maps. So I don't know why it didn't do that. That might just be because the program hasn't really updated to 1.7 yet. I don't know. But for now, we're just going to go with this. It's good enough for now, because I don't really feel like going and finding another program to use this second. But we don't really need these maps, actually. We have them, but we're going to end up spawning them in anyway, so we don't really need them in our inventory. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with command blocks, which, hang on. There we go. Sorry, quickly had to look up actually what the ID for command blocks are. It's 137. For people who don't know, you can only get command blocks by spawning them in, so you have to do a give command with 137. It's the only way to get them, so... What the fuck? I just turned them into flowers. Magic! Who wants magic? Anyway, we're going to obviously need redstone here. We're going to want... Oh my god, I'm being an idiot right now. We're going to want pistons. We're going to want redstone blocks. We don't really need redstone blocks, but it'll help us for testing. Redstone dust and repeaters. And I'm trying to think, do we need anything else? No, that should be good. So, this is going to be heavily using command blocks, so we're going to need a lot of commands here. But that's not going to be too big of a problem. I'll be showing you how the commands work that we're going to be using. So, another thing that we're going to be needing to get is an item to make tubes out of. We're going to be making lava tubes. If you've seen my previous videos on this subject, you're going to understand why, but in this case, we're just going to use clay, and I'm actually going to color them. We're going to have a green one. I think that's actually the color of the floor. We probably shouldn't do that. We're going to have a blue one. That's not really blue, but whatever. We're going to have a, yeah, that color. That's cyan, but I think it's actually gray. We're going to have a red one, and then a dark green. Is this the color? No, it is darker. Okay, good. So we're going to create 4 lava tubes, which I'm going to do right... Ooh, frame rate. Really quickly, hang on. I'm going to need to get some clay again. We're going to get this one. We're going to quickly just do that. So, I'm actually probably going to have to expand this more in a second. That's why I got this extra green. But we're going to create 4 tubes, and they can all be next to each other. So we're going to do that, that, oop, not that, that. Actually, we can break this bottom block here on all these tubes. We're going to need to go up, and then we're going to put a piston on the inside. We're going to do this for all of them. So we'll do one here, we'll do one here, we'll do one right there, I think, and one, no. One right there, and one right there. There we go. No? Hang on. We can actually squeeze these close together if we want. They don't have to be so close, but actually I'm gonna spread them out a little bit more. They don't have to be close, but they can be close if you wanted them to be. So I'm gonna spread them out a tiny bit more, just so that I have more room to work with. Then we're gonna... Nope, wrong color. Then we're going to make this go up one more, and we're gonna do this for all these tubes. And like I said, I'm just coloring them. Well, actually, I didn't say anything about coloring them. I'm coloring them just simply so that it's easy for you guys to be able to tell what I'm doing with each tube and which tube connects to which thing and what's actually going on with these tubes in general. So we're going to do this. We're going to do it again here. Not wrong color. Hang on. Forgot what color I was using. We're using this color here. That'll do. And yeah, like I said, we're going to go 2 up. Now, eventually we're going to fill these tubes with lava, but for now we want them like this. Next we're going to set up our command blocks. Our command blocks are going to be a fairly simple kind of thing. We're going to do coming off of each other. I'm actually going to set this up like this so that you guys can understand a little better what's going on. Let's see, we're going to have it be purple, red, blue, green. Let's do that. Purple, red, blue, green. There we go. That's good. There goes my red one. Red. There we go. That'll do. Okay, so we're going to do this 1, 2. This is to color which tubes we're actually going to be going into. You don't have to color them, but I'm going to here. And then, again, purple. Wait. I thought I said purple, red, blue, green. I screwed that up. Purple, red, blue, and green. There we go. And we're going to be doing purple, red, blue. There we go. And we're also going to need a block. Then we're going to play... well, sorry. Then we're going to... Since we've already colored our command blocks, now we're going to put them on top of here to represent where each frame... These are going to be the 8 command blocks, which represent the 8 frames in our animation. So we're going to put them in like this. And then we're going to put some in-between blocks here, which I'm going to be doing also color-coded based on where each thing was coming from. So there, red goes right here, red goes right here, green goes right here, and green goes right here. Purple goes right... no, purple... green does not go right there. Green goes right here. Purple goes right there. And then finally blue goes there. And there, you don't really have to do that, but I'm going to do that just to, once again, to color it out properly. And we're also going to need some blocks to go in between here, which we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to do that, that, that. We don't need any of these colored blocks, but we're going to need at least a block in between each command block, so that's why I'm doing it. I'm just coloring it. I already pointed that out like 12 times, but that's what I'm doing. I'm just coloring it, so live with it. And then we're going to get some cobblestone or something. Yeah, I'll use cobblestone. And then we're going to put some lining here and some lining. Okay, that'll do. And then I'll put some lining off the back of here, which will lead into something else. So this is where our animation's going to start, and it's going to scroll through here, come this way, and come this way. So now we're going to need to find coordinates. What we're going to do is we're going to input a command. This is the command we're going to be using for the entirety of all of these 8 command blocks, and it's going to be /summon item frame, the item frame ID, /summon item frame, then the coordinates of the item frame, the item that's going to be inside the item frame, and then the coordinates of where the item that's going to be inside the item frame is going to show up, and then the direction of the item frame. So this is how I have it set up right now, and this is just my example one. So we're going to come over here and change that. This we already decided was item frame, or sorry, map number 0. So we're going to come over here and change the map ID value to a damage of 0. There we go. And then now we're going to look for the coordinates of these things. So first coordinate we're going to want to find is this one. We can find this by going right here, set, and we're going to do, hang on, we're going to go F3, and we're going to do set block negative 838. This is just a test. Set block 1 we're actually going to do. And we're going to do at the coordinates of negative 838. And this is literally just a test to see that this is actually the right one, the right place where we want it. And then 29. And so we're going to do that. Set block. Oh, okay, here we go. There we go. So we did that, and that's actually going to be 1 block behind us, so that's not what we want. We're going to do this again. I think that's this one. Does this have to be a 9? That one? Yeah, there we go. That has to be a 9. We also want to go up by 1. So we're going to take that command that we just used, and then go 36 instead. And there we go. So we just found the coordinates of the block that's directly in front of this one. I think we want to actually find the coordinates of that block, but I'll figure that out in a second, because it's been a while since I've actually done this. So we're going to look at this really quickly. Actually, is there a way for me to do this? Let me think. If I do... What I can do actually is I can do this. I can copy this. I can place a command block down. I can paste that in the command block, do that, and then right-click this, and now we have the coordinates down here to be visible. So we're going to do this. We're going to change the... and this is going to be going in the second coordinates. This is the display coordinates. And so we're going to be doing 839, negative 839, of course. They're the same exact coordinates that are down there in the bottom right corner. So 36, and then the Z is going to be from 29. And the coordinates that are currently in this block, by the way, are ones from my world that I had before, my other world. The one that I literally just copy and pasted this from my old world, this command, so that's why I have to edit it all. Next, we're going to find the coordinates of the purple tube. So we're going to come right here, and we're going to do the same thing. We're in F3 mode, we're going to do set block, and then we're going to change the coordinates of this. So this is going to be -842, and then followed by 36, and then followed by 3. And that's going to be right there. So we're going to do this again, and I think this has to be 3. Yep, there we go. So we found those coordinates now, and that was important. So we got those coordinates now, and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to do this, copy it, and we're going to put it in here just so that we can see the coordinates. Actually, we don't even have to do that. We can just take this and then copy this whole thing right here. Copy that. For this one, it's easier because we don't have to deal with the fact that it's TileY, TileZ. It'll just automatically recognize that. And right here, we're just going to cut this out and paste that in instead. And so now what this should do, if we power this block right here, oh, hang on. If we power that block, it's going to summon the item. It's going to be there. And we're going to want this to face a different direction. This isn't the direction we want it to face. So we're going to change that so that it's facing this way. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to check our directions, which right now is 3. So we're going to change that from 0, which is what it was currently at, which is that way, and we're going to change it to 1, I believe, actually, not 3. So hang on, time set 0. So yeah, let's try changing this to 1 and see how this works out. And that's going to be a direction value of 1. Once we're done with that, we do this, and it's going to be right there. It's going to be stuck in the block. Okay, so maybe it was the direction value of 3. In fact, I think it was. We're going to do the direction value of 3, and also we're going to move this display coordinate up by, or back by 1, because I know that it needs to be. So you can just figure that out from trial and error with this stuff. So we're going to do that. And now when we do it, there it is. Our map pops up, it's got our picture in it, and we have it in the right place. So we also can come over here and check if this item spawned inside this hole. If it did, that's great, we did it right. Once that's done, once we know that that works properly, we can fill this with lava, actually. Because now we know for a fact that it's spawning that in the right place. So we've got that filled with lava. Once we've filled that with lava, we're going to do the same thing for all of these. Now that we've successfully finished our first command block, we're going to continue on to the second. So we're going to do this just by simply copying this, and then we're going to paste it into here. There we go, I've already copied it and pasted it. And so now we're going to edit only one thing. We've already edited everything over here and all that, but now there's actually 2 things we want to edit. One, we want to change this to the damage value of the second frame that we want, which was 1, I believe. In fact, if we come in here and look at this, yep, 1. See, this one was 0, this one's 1, this one's 3, that one's 4. So we want to change this to 1. And once we've changed that to 1, we also want to change the coordinates of where the item frame spawns. Since we've marked this off with the tube red, we're going to do this by going over to where the red tube is. So, but we can do this a little bit easier. Since we already found the coordinates of the purple tube, all we have to do is we have to go 2 to the left, or at least left from this perspective, which is going to be 2 positive on the z-axis. So you can check that in your F3 menu. So we're going to come over here, go to the z-axis, and then we're going to go 2 positive, which is going to be 5. Place that there, and see if it pops up in here. Give it a second, and it did not. That's not good. 1, 2. Okay, yeah, it needed to be 3 positive. I'm stupid. I didn't count. I can't count. I can't count for shit, apparently. So yeah, make that 3 positive, and then set it off, and let's see how that worked out. Now it should pop up in this tube. It did. Perfect. Wait, did that? Hang on. Let me check this one more time. Do I need to go 1 more up on the y-axis, or is it actually popping up in the right place? I might have to go 1 more up on the y-axis. Okay. Quick test to see if I'm doing this right. Place that, and then quickly place this Okay, never mind. I got it in the right place. We're good. I just need to quickly test that. So now we know where that is. We're done with this now. Lava. Get lava. Place it in there. We're done with tube number red, or whatever the hell you want to call it. After we're done with tube red, we're going to do the same thing with the next one. Control A, Control Copy. Come over to the next command block, Control V. Change the data value to the next one, which I believe was 2? Was the next one 2? What number did I skip? Did I skip 2? No, yeah, I did skip 2, so it's 3. This one's going to be 3, a damage value of 3. And then we're going to go, I believe it's -2 on the x-axis, or -3 on the x-axis. Yes, we're going to be going -3 on the x-axis to fit it in that other tube. So we're going to go here, -3, which is going to change this to a 6. And then we're going to place this. And now it should pop up in this tube over here. Ta-da! It worked. Good to know. You're just going to pick up those to get rid of them. So now that we've done that, we're done with this one over here. We're good to go. Wait. Okay. And finally, we're going to do the same thing with the last one. Come here. We're going to do this one. We're going to do this one, copy it, paste it. Going to be a damage value of 4. And then since this is where the purple tube is, we need to go 3 negative on the x-axis to get to the green tube. We're going to go 3 negative, and we're going to get 6 again here. And then we're going to test it, and it should pop up over in this tube. Yay! Okay. Once that's done, you may or may not, depending on how confident you are in yourself, check whether these are the correct frames. So there's that frame 1. Come over here. Yep, that's frame 1. We're good with that one. Come over here. Is that frame 2? Yep, that's frame 2. We got the next one. Is that frame 3? Yeah, that's frame 3. What about frame 4? Yep, that's frame 4. Okay, so that's something you might want to do. You don't necessarily have to do that one. Now, what we can do from here is, since we already have all the coordinates put in for the first 4 frames, and the first 4 frames just use the coordinates of these top lava tubes, what we can come over here and do is we can actually grab the coordinates of tube number purple and paste them over here. Now all we need to do is change this to whatever damage value it was. I believe that was 4 we just used, so this is going to be 5. And then we can do the same thing with this one. This is red. Copy. We can paste this in the red one. And then this is going to be 6, a damage value of 6. And then come over here, do the same thing with this is blue, I believe. I kind of forget what colors these were. I mean, this looks really gray. I think it was cyan originally. This is going to be 7. And then finally, over here, we're going to copy and paste this one and then make this one 8 over here. And we have, wrong place, and we have 8 put in. There we go. So now we have all these set up, and now it's all up to getting all the timing down so that everything works properly. So let's do this. Quickly, let me go check over on my original world to make sure that I remember how this timing works out. Back in a sec. Okay, yep, I remembered exactly how this worked. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out our repeater now. We're done with our colored clay. We don't really need that anymore, so I'll just get that out of here. And we're going to pull out ourselves a repeater, which I think I had before, but I removed so that I could have clay. And we're going to put a repeater between all of these, making a big loop like this. And we're also going to put redstone on top of them. After that, we're going to put 2 ticks on each of these. So just right click it once to add it, to change it to 2 ticks. And there we go. We're good now. So now we have this, and this will set up and fire off so that one frame and the next, all 2 ticks after each other. Then what we're going to come over here and do is we're actually going to grab some quick something, a building block. I'll just grab cobblestones. I'm too lazy to go grab one of the color clays. And I'm just going to expand this platform out a tiny bit on every side so that I can just have a little bit more room to work with here. And now we're going to set up some timing here. By the way, I'm not claiming that this is going to be the most organized build, because I'm not good at tutorials. I'm good at redstone for the most part, but I'm not very organized with my redstone. I'm definitely not someone who usually color coats anything, and I'm hardly color coding anything here. So we're here, and our first tube is going to be this one. So since these are going to be our first one over here, we're going to have a piece of redstone, or we're going to have a piece of redstone right here, and then we're going to do one. And so we're only going to need this to go off twice, and the reason we're only going to need it to go off twice is because there's only 2 frames in this particular animation that are going to end up using the purple tube. So now we're going to count this off. So that one goes after 1 tick, then 1 tick, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to want this to go off after 9 ticks, because that's when we get to the next frame. So that's going to be the amount of ticks that it gets to that frame plus 1 tick, so 9 ticks. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once we have that down, we're good to go. And also place a piece of redstone there. Actually, probably fucked this up a little bit. I'm going to change this slightly so that it comes over here. Hang on. And then I'm going to put this one here instead of on the other side, just so that it doesn't, so that it'll actually connect to the piston. Of course we're going to need that. Next we're going to do the same thing over here. This is going to be, I don't remember what this one was. This was what? Probably 3 ticks for the first one. Let me check. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 3 for this first one, and then we're going to do 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 ticks for the second one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There we go. We got our 11 ticks set up, and we're going to place redstone the same way we did before and have it connect. And we're going to do exactly the same thing with these ones. Count out the timing the same way, and I'm going to be back after I'm done with that. Oh my god, the slimes found a way to get up! How did this even happen? Oh my god, that village is getting ravaged by slimes. Anyway, coming over here, I have now set up all the timing, and along with that, I have found the coordinates of some blocks that will allow me to connect all the redstone. If this was a redstone block here, it would set off all these, and I found the coordinates of these blocks and marked them off with command blocks so that I could remember them for later. So, we've got this all set up now. I also put one up here, too. So, that's gonna, if we do that command, that would place a block right underneath it, just to point that out. Same thing with all those. So, now that we're here, we're gonna do some finalizing things. Finally, now that we've set that off, we're gonna want the whole sequence to loop. And, hang on, I'm trying to think of something here. Okay, I'm going to do it like this instead. There we go. So, obviously we're going to want this sequence to loop. Yeah, I'm doing it like this. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to make it so that I can remove and replace that redstone right there later with 1 command block instead of 2. Anyway, so, the reason that we're gonna put some more command blocks in the end, obviously, because we want it to loop. So, these command blocks are going to be set up like this. We're going to have 1 here. Or actually, we can just, we could have it keep going straight. We can do it however we want. I'm just going to do it right like this. So we're going to have 1 here. We're just going to have it keep looping around like this. And we're going to have 1 more right here. No, not right there. We're going to have 1 more right here. And we're going to make this a 1 tick in between them. And we're going to place that right there. Now what this is going to do is this is going to take this right here. We're going to copy that. And we're going to paste this in here. We're going to do that, and then along with that, we're going to... Hang on, I'm trying to think of something. I'm trying to think of what the ID for this is. 152. So we're going to change this to 152 right here. 152. So instead of spawning a piece of stone right here, like this one does, instead of placing that piece of stone there, it'll place a redstone block instead. So that it'll launch off the whole thing and light everything up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do that's not what I'm going to do. We're going to do the same thing right here, and we're going to make it 0, so it removes that redstone block and turns it into air. So we don't really need this here anymore, but I'll just leave it there for a second so that I can have it there. And then we're going to do that 3 times. I don't know why I'm such an idiot. There we go, like that. Yeah, just like that. We're going to put that 3 times, and we're going to set this up like this. There we go. Perfect. And yeah, actually I don't want this here anymore. Now we're going to do it with this side. Same thing. Control copy, blah blah blah. What was this again? 152, I believe. Yep, okay, 152. We're going to place that in the middle, 152, and in the middle, and 0. There we go. And then we can break this one now. We don't need that anymore. Come over here, control copy. The last one now, 152, and 0. So, yeah, like I said, nope, not 10, 0. Like I said, what this is going to do is it's going to spawn redstone blocks in all 3 of those locations, and then it's going to instantly delete them afterwards, so that you only get a 1-tick signal that pulses out of them. So, actually, I could do... I'm going to show a quick demonstration of this. So this is what it's going to do. We're going to place this here for a second. So, it's going to do this. Yeah, see, it places them and then instantly deletes them. As you can see. Also, you may notice that we're going to get a lot of command block messages down here in the bottom left, which is going to be annoying. What we can do to get rid of that, for people who don't know, is game mode, or not game mode, game rule, tab, command block output false, and then now it won't do that. As you can see, now it's not doing it. But yeah, so it'll place the block and then remove it again, and that's going to cause our entire animation to loop. Next, what we're going to want to do is create something to turn on the animation and turn off the animation. That's the final step. We're pretty much done with it here. It'll work now if we... Here, I'll turn it on for a second. This is going to get a little bit chaotic, I have a feeling, because... I should probably mark this somehow. I'm going to mark this with a... No, not a piston. I'm going to mark this with a piece of sponge. There we go, that. I shall mark it so that I can know where it is later. In fact, by later, I mean in about 1 second. I'm also going to do it here. Move that. Piece of sponge. Okay, so that's there, and we're going to set this off now. So we're going to do that. And so now these pistons over here are firing, and they are killing all of these maps that are being spawned 1 tick after they're being spawned, and it causes our animation to loop all nicely. Also, there's 1 tick where nothing shows up. And I mentioned this before, I think, that I don't really know how to fix it, where there's that 1 tick that doesn't show up. And in the new update, that's really annoying, because it causes the entire animation to flash every time it restarts. In fact, hang on, I'm going to go see if I can fix that. 1 second. Here we go, I fixed it. Now it doesn't flash. All I simply did was changed it so that this last repeater is 1 tick instead of 2 ticks. Which will... It still flashes a little bit, I think. Like, not really. It doesn't really flash that much. It kind of like still makes a little jittering motion a tiny bit, but not really. And so now we're going to shut this off here because we're done with that, and we're going to just do the finalizing steps, which is creating buttons in order to turn on and off the animation. I'm going to break all these, by the way, and also that, because we don't need that anymore. Get rid of that. Okay, so we're going to come here, and we're going to choose where we want our buttons. We're going to do them right here. But, okay, but, I'm an idiot and don't know how to spell button. Button right here, and a button right here, and then we're going to get some signs to label these buttons as on and off. We'll do on this side because that's how I feel like, and off is going to be off to the right. No, off is going to be right here. Ta-da! There we go. And now we're going to set this up. So I shall place one right there and right there. That's good. And I am thinking for a second. Okay. On is going to do that, and off is going to do that. Okay, so first we're going to come over here, and first we're going to do off. So off is going to be simply 3 command blocks. 1, 2, 3. And that's just because we have 3... Yeah, we have 3 redstone blocks spawn in. You can do this with more or less, whatever you want to do. But if you wanted to actually make these tubes closer to that, you could do it all with just one redstone block spawn in, but I made them apart from each other for demonstration purposes. But what we're going to do is we're just going to make it so that right here we're going to find this coordinate, which is going to be the same, or it's going to be the same as one of these. I don't remember which one this one. It was this one. It's going to be the same as this one. Sorry. It's going to be the same as this one, except, what is it? It's going to be +1 on the z-axis, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be +1 on the z-axis. So we're going to do that here, go there, and we're going to do this to 0, and we're going to make this +1 on the z-axis, which is going to be 10. And then we're going to save. We're going to do the same thing with this one, which I believe this one is... Which one is this one? Can I figure that out without the entire animation saying off? I think it's that one over there. Yeah, it is. Okay. So, we're going to take this one. I believe I just copied it, but I'll copy it again just to make sure. And put it over here in the second one. And this one, we're going to go -1 on this axis, I believe. Let me check that, if that's right. Yeah, that's going to be -1. And then we're going to come over here to the last one, and I believe this one will be, yeah, this one will be +1 again, so. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Can I undo that? Did I copy that? Did I copy that right? Is that the same thing? No? Okay, wait. Hang on. Is this the same as this over here? Okay, that's that. This is that. Okay, good. That's actually right. Okay, we're good. Okay, so copy it. Make sure that you get it. Come over to the last one. We gotta change the time to 0 again because it's being annoying, and change that to 4. And then time set 0. Okay, there we go. Now this button will turn off the animation. Just off, and that's gonna turn off the animation, but it's gonna remove this piece of dust, this piece of dust, and also this piece of dust, which will make it so that now the redstone blocks, when they spawn, they won't connect anything, so it will be impossible for the animation to loop. Next, we're going to come off of here, and we're going to start the on process. The on process is a little bit more complicated, depending on how you want to make the on process. I have my own little way. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, for the on process, we're going to basically copy these 6 command blocks. You can, well, we're going to copy these 6 command blocks. Actually, hang on. We could actually just make it so that a redstone block spawns right here. So we're only going to need 2 command blocks for that. And then we're going to need 3 command blocks to turn on to replace the redstone. So, come over here. We're going to need 3 blocks to replace the redstone. That'll be these 3. And then we're going to need a block here. We're going to need a block here. And then that. And then a block here. There we go. And once again with the 1 tick in between. And then we're going to connect these all with redstone. So, first we're going to do the pieces of redstone dust, which, 1 second, let me go actually get the ID for redstone dust. I have to remember this stuff. Okay, we're back. So I copied all 3 of these commands from these 3 command blocks and put them in these 3 now. And we're going to want to change these to 50, not 555. No, not that either. We want to change these to 55. Block 55 being the block ID for redstone dust. Not the item ID. The item ID is 331. But the actual block, when it's placed on the floor like this, that's 55. So we're going to change that to 55 on all these. Or 55, whatever you want to say. There we go. And now we're going to do this over here. Once again, we're going to do this. This is going to be the last time we're going to have to do this. We're going to check what block we're on. Set block. -829. Actually, let's do 830 to make sure, or to just check. 37, and then 2, and then 1. There we go. I actually chose the right block, so there we go. That'll do. That doesn't matter. I'll ignore that for now. We're going to copy that, because that's the same thing, and then we're going to place that into right here. Right? Yeah, okay, right here. And we're going to make that the ID for redstone block, and we're going to make this the ID for this. I believe redstone block was 152. Yes, I was right. We're going to change this to 152. 152. I don't know why my voice cracked when I said 2 there, but now, God, I feel like a million slimes are spawning in that village. And my, whoa, frame rate, please. Calm down for a second. There we go. And now everything should work as we planned it out. Our animation is fluent, solid, it works. All of our redstone successfully is going off. Our pistons are successfully firing and making the loudest noise ever over here. Which is, people who don't understand why we use pistons over here. You could also use dispensers and arrows and also a couple other tricks. But basically what these are doing is it's spawning the item frame in an invisible form inside this block right here. And so the piston is just pushing that item frame upwards, knocking it off the wall, and launching it into the lava so that it burns. And when the reason we want it to burn, of course, is so that we don't have a pile of entities sitting over here lagging the entire game. And the reason that we don't want to set it so that the placement ID is the same as over here is so that when the items break, they drop all over the floor as the animation's going off, and there's paper and maps and stuff all over the floor. But you do it like this, so that it all spawns over here, and it's not going to make a problem. And as you can see, we got this going on, the redstone blocks spawning there. All of our timing was correctly set up so that these, all 3 redstone blocks spawn at the same time. These pistons fire 1 tick after the frames are spawned, so that the frames are only on the wall for 1 tick. And the next tick, the same, and the other frame spawns, and there we go. We get a successful animation of Sonic running. You can do this with anything, and you can do this bigger and better. And that's why I didn't make the version 4.0. Let's go over to my other world real quick. So, like I said, these animations are broken in this update, so nothing's working. All this stuff's not going to work. And the reason for that I already told you is because of coordinates. Coordinates got all fucked up during the snapshots or something, so that the coordinates were messed up, which causes all the set block IDs and stuff, all the set blocks and all that stuff that I had, all the coordinates have been changed slightly so that stuff's breaking over here and whatnot. Nothing's placed properly, and it just is a big mess now. And with this being a problem, and yeah, so this is a problem, is what I'm going to say. And so here we have here instead of an 8-frame animation, I believe this one was 12 frames, let me count that out. There we go, there's 8 and there's another 4, yeah, so we got 12 frames here. So this, for people who didn't see the original video, I suggest you go check that one out if you really want to see how this works a little bit more in depth. It's the same exact thing, except that let's just pretend we only have 1 frame here, or we only have 1 corner of this. Each one of these layers right here represents a corner. So let's just say that this is the bottom left. I think this one's actually the top right, but I don't really remember. So we'll just say it's the bottom left or the bottom right or something. I don't care. It's one of the corners. So this is going to do this. It's going to set off, and it's going to place all the things, and this is going to do the same thing as it did before. It's going to break all the things. Now, this requires a little bit of extra stuff, and the reason it's doing that is not actually because there's more layers. This only requires extra stuff because this is 12 frames instead of 8, so it requires more. So instead of each one of these things having to fire off 2 times, each one has to fire off 3 times because we're having a whole extra 4 frames in there, making it so that they're each going to have to go off 3 times. Over here, this timing's kind of weird the way I set this one up, but God, my throat hurts. Over here, everything's set up properly, and we got all our timing the way we would want it to have just a single square. Like if we had a one by one, a single square, 12 frame animation. It is all set up for that. Then what I did is I made the rest of the corners, and actually all these spawn in the same tube at the same time. So you can have entities stacked on top of each other, which is something that some people know, some people don't. If I get myself a item frame here, pull that out, and I go, oh, here's a button, then I can actually place another one on top, and then place something else inside of it. No, that's not what I'm going to do, but you can do it. It's, I think you have to use fence posts to do it, but for people you can't actually see it, but right now there's a bunch of these stacked on top of each other. So if I go into game mode 0, you can see that I can actually stack these on top of each other. And so I can break a bunch of them. Now there's a bunch on top of the same thing. See, there's a ton of them here, because I just placed a ton of them. Let's go back to 1 real quick. So we can have an infinite number of those at the same time. So we have 4 of those spawning at the same time. Here's all 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bottom layer just curves around differently because I ran out of room. So 4 spawn at the same time in 1 tube. So when the piston fires, it breaks all 4 of them. So we don't need to have any more than 4 of these things. We only need 4. The only real difference that we're doing with the version 4.0 that I had here was just kept stacking this on top of each other over and over again in order to get all the corners over and over again. And then I would just have to set them up to the proper maps. Like this was whatever 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, you know. I just have to set up the correct data values. Also, this is bugging me, the way that maps disappear out of the corner of your vision. And I actually know why that happens, but it still bugs me. But, yeah, so that's all you had to do, is you had to just have 4 of them to set up a bigger frame. And that's all you still have to do. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video tutorial on I Joined the Wrong World, on how to make your own animations in Minecraft, and how it's actually pretty easy once you know how it sets up and once you know how it works. I'm going to be copying and pasting a few of these commands, like this one probably, into the description of the video. And along with that, I'd just like to thank you guys for watching, and why don't you go check out some more of my videos if you liked this one. Most of them aren't tutorials or Minecraft related. I like to do all kinds of games, but I'm generally funnier than this because I'm generally putting my effort into making commentary and not trying to remember how I built things that I built a couple months back. So, that's the end of this video. I'll see you guys next time.